Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Speedgaming May. Tonight we've got the final qualifier of the Speedgaming Live Online 2025 Ocarina of Time Randomizer Tournament here. My name is Star, and I'm joined tonight by Ketstaffer on comms. How are you doing?
I'm doing just great. Excited for this qualifier that is mostly not too meaningful for most runners. We have a fairly set top 32, but we get to see some repeat runners here tonight, which will be fun to see.
Should be good fun here. We've got ourselves Kola and Pyra. This is qualifier number 12 out of 12. Top 32 finishers from qualifiers move on to brackets, as mentioned. It's fairly set now. Kola is 28th in current standings, and Pyra is 19th, but just looking to have a good race here and see how it goes. For those unfamiliar with the settings for Ocarina of Time Randomizer, if you've seen LTDPR before, it's a fairly similar idea. You randomize the chests, you randomize the NPC gifts. We don't do some of the crazier settings like entrance random or key sanity or pots or enemy souls or any number of other things that you can turn on in this randomizer, because there are a lot. This is one of the oldest Zelda randos. We have slightly different win cons. The average typically OTR does 6 medallion win cons, but here we have 3 Stone Bridge and we need the Shadow and Spear medallions for the Ganon's Castle boss key. They also start with the Forest medallion, and the dungeon assigned to the Light medallion is pre-completed, which means we never have to touch it.
Yeah, and the different medallion and stone conditions make for some interesting logic in these settings. It's definitely why it's among my favorite settings to play, just because of thinking through priority on bridge versus key. Hasn't really come into effect, I've seen, in too many quals so far.
Mm-hmm.
But if it does, it definitely makes it a little interesting to think about, what areas might not be worth checking because of the sort of the order things have to happen based on the seed. So.
Oh, absolutely. There could be some interesting quirks, but we'll get into them as the race goes, because we're about to get going. Nocturne start here for our runners, so that's one less song to worry about. Songs are shuffled amongst themselves. It is not Song Sanity, as the setting is known, where they can be anywhere, because that setting can take a really long time.
Yeah, Pyra's checking the hint stones first before taking the immediate warp. Usually when you get a warp song like this, you just kind of go straight there. You see bottom of the well, Lost Woods, Gerudo Valley, and I think I missed one while I was thinking.
It was Fortress, and I also missed the last one. Pierre on the other side is dead, I believe it was.
Okay.
Fortress and Valley, okay, so both.
Yep.
And
Nice.
Pierre is dead. Alright, so some early hints. This is a fairly large game. Not so much for the number of checks, necessarily. For those, again, familiar with the LTDPR, OTR's got about 250 checks in these base settings, essentially, without sanities involved, just a heart piece and a crate. The thing is that 3D is, 3D. Takes a lot longer to get around the map.
Especially early 3D, where there's a lot of space between things, for sure.
So we add hints. We saw there in these settings they're fixed to be at the Temple of Time for convenience, although in other settings those hints might be anywhere. For foolish hints indicate that the checks in those overworld areas are guaranteed to have nothing of progression that can lock checks. We won't need to touch them. So bottom of the well is nice in case Song of Storms is someplace inaccessible. Gerudo Valley is just a really annoying place to get to. Fortress can be nice if, a photo song is somewhere goofy. HBA can be a real troll. Lost Woods is interesting because it's a lot of often very early game checks, but it's nice to know that you don't have to touch them.
Well, yeah, and especially Lost Woods contains some kind of annoying checks that you often have to reroute in. A lot of runners skip ones that are early in the seed just because they know they have to come back. And we get a wallet. All right, not too consequential yet.
As welcome in Raiders from Zelda Speedruns, raiding over from the Ocarina of Time Random Settings League race. I see you guys finally finished that seed!
Do we need to hold group therapy now?
For those not familiar, Random Settings League is a tournament with random settings, so you can get some interesting things like key sanity, entrance rando, pots, enemy souls, all the things I mentioned earlier, and more. Hey, Goron Tunic.
Right after the
wallet.
Makes the first wallet almost meaningless.
But yeah, Random Settings League, and apparently this one is a bit of a doozy as RSL goes. So if anyone wants to see OTR with a bit of a different spin to it than what we offer here at SGL, go have a look. It'll be an interesting watch, I can tell you that much.
Yes. Absolutely.
20, 30 skulls are guaranteed to be hinted here at the Sculpture House. 40 and 50 skulls are turned off because they're pretty long checks, and we do run on a limited time frame here for SGL. And those two checks are both dead. We don't need heart pieces, and we certainly don't need money.
Yes, absolutely not. Yeah, it's
Our
definitely...
others wouldn't mind a heart container if they happen to find one, but they're not going to go out of their way to collect 30 skulls for a heart piece.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, I would say so far we definitely have some. Ooh, Storms is a good song pickup early.
Although Foolish Well kind of nerfs it.
Oh, true. Yeah, right. I was just about to talk about the Foolishes too, and saying that we have Lost Woods and Bottom of the Well are pretty strong Foolishes. A lot of times you get Foolishes for just places that only have like a few checks, but getting Lost Woods and Bottom of the Well is definitely a above average pull there.
Oh, absolutely.
Shadow Trial hint there, which I think said was dead.
Yep, just a heart piece. Those are called sometimes hints, which the 20-30 skulls are considered form of always hints, where you're usually getting them in every seed. Sometimes hints plus a pool of about 15 or so checks that are kind of annoying, not so much so that you would never do them without the hint, but it's nice to know that you don't have to deal with it.
Yes. Yeah, sometimes you can really pull a great sometimes hint. There was that one seed that behind Deku Tree, I can't remember what the hint was, but it was just for a location that had an item that basically blew open the seed. So sometimes they can give you hints that are just going to wildly blow something open, but more often they're kind of just telling you, here's an annoying check, it's probably dead.
Yeah. Always hints depend a bit on this tournament and the settings. In these settings, it's 20-30 skulls in a skull house, and then frogs too, because collecting all those non-warp songs really does kind of suck.
Yes.
The Bird and Cat Garika song replaces what is more commonly thought of as the AD song of OTR, because it's Three Stone Bridge, so the Bird and Cat song behind the Forest, Fire, and Water meds becomes a really annoying song that you'd rather not do extra dungeons for. Bird and Cat isn't always hint, and Skull Mask isn't always hint. Sure, Skull Mask is technically available Sphere 0, unlike the other always hints, but it's really slow, so we turned it off.
What's interesting about this season is with the non-required meds is that now we always start with Forest Medallion just to kind of increase the consistency of the seeds, where you just kind of always have to do the same number of dungeons. Ooh, Pyra gets a strength here from climbing up trail, so that Storm's actually coming into play here.
It only locks 3 checks outside of the well, and nice hammer on the other side. With Well Foolish, the only check Storm's locks are Frogs 1, I guess Frogs 2, although again that will be an always hint, and the 2 Storm Grottos with chests in them. There's more Storm Grottos in the game, but we don't have Scrub Sanity or Entrance Random 1, so the rest don't matter.
Yep. So it kind of quite convenient that song came in clutch there.
Absolutely. Shoes are on Link the Goron, convenient.
Yep. Choose and wallet, so maybe we'll see a choose seed here. Who knows?
Shoes are not considered in Logic because, they're not meant as a replenishable source in the game. You have to go and buy them instead of picking them up for grass drops or whatnot. Ooh, meta check. Jabu, Fire, Deku, DC, and Water are our required medallion dungeons, and Forest is our pre-completed. Okay. We had better not need Burning Cack because Shadow and Spirit is a terrible combination.
Absolutely. Good.
Forest is nice to be pre-completed. It's a very low item requirement dungeon, but it's also really slow and really linear, so not too bad to see it pre-completed.
It's nice to get it out of the way, just to not have to. It's one of those places where it's like if it's non-required and could have something that you're always like, do I really have to check it? Because
Talon's chickens, and I think both fairies were dead outside Hyrule Castle. Gan's Castle, I think, was the hint on Pyra's side. Lost Woods is foolish, but that Grotto's an easy check to get for a hint, even in Foolishes. Yes. And he has 20 choose, so not big. You have to go spend one for some info that could potentially quite matter.
Yeah, hints are very strong, especially in these settings, I feel, where there's, the priority of bridge and key can come into play too. That, you know, there's kind of what the hints directly tell you, but there's kind of what the hints tell you between the lines. So it's often, even in foolish areas, if you know there's a hint stone there, good to pick those up just to complete your information as much as possible.
And we do have a hint bot in chat that supplies you with if you use the commands, you can get a hint for where you can go see what our hints of the day are so far.
Yeah, and no paths yet, so we're gonna have to wait
strength
this.
2.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Not sure we want that, though, given that spirit is not required.
Yeah, we also have magic for shadow too, so you know we're off to a interesting start.
Yeah, not necessarily want, although the game does seem to want us to go Fire Temple early, I think, given the hammer, strengths, tunic, and wallet. As with most randomizers, we do have logic turned on. The game is not going to give you a seed that's unbeatable. You will not get a hammer on Volvagia.
Yeah, the funny thing about that is... Yep. The funny thing about that, though, is because it will make sure the game is beatable, it also means that when you get checks, or get items in early checks, it almost is, you know, not necessarily telling you that, but it makes it a little more likely that you need those items because it had to put them early in the game for you to unlock later things. So, seeing all of these... The game had to give us a hammer at some point. It had to give us access to a tunic at some point. Didn't have to be in the first 10 minutes, but the fact it did is definitely a bit of a Yes, and you get a little scared. Oh, yeah, this is our first path hint of the game. King Zora is dead, good hint. First path hint of the game there in SFM, that's paths are replaced Way of the Heroes, if people might remember those from older years of OTR. OT is a bonus song, that's a sometimes hint in these settings, as previously discussed. Yes, because Ocarina of Time is not your AD song, that is more like your Burning Cack song in a standard Steve settings here. Although this is pretty standard Steve. Today is Serenade, as we saw that hint. Yes. More choose, convenient. So it means that we're not necessarily doing full AD, but it could be that a very important item is in Spirit or Shadow, given that we're starting to see many of the items needed for those dungeons, especially Spirit with Strength 2 early, but... And the fact that Sacred Forest Meadows Path to Goma, that's our first, what I was trying to get at, is that's our first hint of that type. Path hints replace some Way of the Hero hints from older settings, those have largely been replaced in many racing settings. That indicates that there is an item or song in that overworld area that the game expects you to have to beat that boss. Yes. In the case of the Deku Tree, we have the trick turned on so that the game expects you to be able to beat the dungeon without a slingshot. So the hint for SFM to Goma means that it is one of the songs, because I believe we saw Wolfos Grotto was something forgettable. And the two songs are Requiem and Song of Time. Neither Requiem isn't really what we want to see with Unrequired Spirit Temple. The big thing that gives us is access to this unrequired dungeon. Song of Time does not really lock all that much, so... we did pick up Bolero. Could be our logic for is access to that. Bolero is our first access to Fire Temple, actually, per previous discussion. So that might just be it, but we'll see. Yeah. I also have no idea what's on the Colossus Arch, as usual. Yeah. Path Bolero is definitely a weird one, because there's just so many things that can also just allow you to cross the bridge to get whatever song is at that check anyway. So if that is it... We have two different ways of getting into Crater between our strength upgrades and our hammer, so it's not blowing up Lingogoron that's the problem today. We also have an available bomb bag on chickens, as it turns out. Yeah. And even more choose. Which is, you know, I'm sure runners will be doing that. It is somewhat time-consuming, though, and given that we got a 20-pack from Choose, I could see some runners kind of being like, well, maybe I won't be getting a bomb bag today. Yeah. But something to keep in mind, Market is not foolish, and Bombchu Bowling can and has been people before. As with any randomizer, if there is a check that exists in the game, someone has forgotten it. Sometime. Someone. Somewhere. Yes, yeah, Choose get you out of almost everything that Bomb Bag would. You obviously can't, you know, do ground jumps with Bomb Choose. You can't and you can't do things that are specifically bomb locked, which isn't many things logically, but chew bowling is one of those exceptions.
Yep. Yeah, now there is a setting in the randomizer where you can have the game expected to have bomb chews for explosives, but we don't tend to turn that. The only tournament I know that usually has that setting enabled is RSL, which is a whole, and that where it is an option that can be randomized to be on. And if you want to see RSL, go check out the ZSR VOD later. It is entertaining, I can promise you that. Although maybe not right now.
Entertaining is definitely a word for it. At least for that seed.
We promise most seeds are not that long. So
yeah.
Fountain's Path to Morpha. That's gonna be for Hookshots, Iron Boots. It's not Song of Time, at least. Good to know, not terribly interesting right now.
No, not yet.
Oh,
Mirror Shield. Oh,
more things we don't want.
Oh my gosh. Alright, game, we get it. Our Kokiri Swords and Spirit. It's gonna be on Twin
Spirit
Rova.
Or Fire, because Arrow is our first fire access right now. Because we have several ways of blowing up Link the Goron, but we have 4 different ways of blowing. We have 4 different ways of crater access right now, but none of them get us across the bridge.
Yes.
I'm also keeping track of Spirit keys right now because that can matter. Spirit, as mentioned before, Logic is built to what we call Logic is the game's inbuilt failsafe to make sure you can beat the game. This gets really interesting for Spirit Temple because you can access it as both ages with different items and you can do different things. And it gets pretty convoluted. I'm not going to go into the whole lesson right now because it's still an early game. We don't know if it will matter just yet, but even in non-key sanity, non-skull sanity, there's still about 15 different items and songs that can be logically relevant to this place.
Yes. And the funny thing about Spirit key logic, too, is that the vanilla key locations are out of logic. If that gives you any idea of how convoluted it is.
Some of them, yeah.
But yeah, we're just starting to see...
making note of keys as well. Also to know how many keys are left, so we can tell what's left in terms of chests that might have items in them. Spirit is apparently logically locked behind a fire source. That's because of the key right there. Lungeon is locked. A more tradition, there is an entire document that goes into more detail. You can go read. If that becomes relevant later, I'll explain it on Restream, but I think I'll spare you all from the lecture right now. Hey, first that is our first adult ranged weapon, speaking of things.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I keep the Spirit key logic as a nice bedtime story for myself.
Logic's my logic for my specialty for commentary, but I don't just because I know it doesn't mean I want to go into a spiel about it, because I do know it's a bit of a snooze for many.
A good novel to vomit on, yes, absolutely. See, that's why it puts me to sleep, though.
Yep, and Kola taking that potentially path Requiem straight to Bolero, which makes a lot of sense, honestly.
Yes.
I have no idea what's on the wall. Kola can see it better than I can. I have no idea what that is either. It's not a rupee or a heart piece because I can't see it. Those two would be visible. ZL, okay.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when either runner will be able to access Spirit. You know, both have a strength, but they have different strengths. Pyra's probably going to see or get strength 2 quicker, because I imagine getting... well, maybe, I don't know, Storm's Grotto actually probably
Storm's
is...
Grotto is going to turn up, yeah.
Yeah.
Kola's going to head for DC shortly, I think, and there's... And if he shouldn't miss it.
Yes. Yeah, I think that probably both runners will probably get strength 2 in a similar amount of time then, kind of depending on, you know, when Pyra routes in Child versus when Kola is gonna, you know, finish DC, which both should happen relatively soon here, I'd imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We tend to see fairly... A lot of early... in pretty much every scene, early game starts by you doing the checks that are available from the start. Which we tend to see an early CAC play, a Kakariko play for songs, for items, for hints. and then take it from there. So, so you know, Pyra decided to take his storms up to DMT, found strength and followed that around, and Cola went child to follow some checks there, and now they've kind of both converged a bit. Because, yeah, again, neither of them, between them we have plenty of spirit access, but neither of them has it individually just yet.
Right.
And explosives galore tells you to go to Death Mountain, is more or less what it tells you, really.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so definitely a couple places to chase down that path, but you know, I think what's interesting also so far is, you know, with the explosives early, that's usually what can kind of cause a lot of early diversions, which is why we're seeing things being done in all sorts of different orders here from these two runners. As, you know, if you don't get explosives in your early CAC start, you usually just immediately go to do your, you know, usual opening child things. But as a result of, you know, getting a nice 20-pack of chews, we've seen a lot of variation in what's being done by both of these runners. So I'm sure, probably in about like 20-30 minutes, we'll see quite a bit of convergence.
Oh, for sure. New check for Pyra, I'm pretty sure. Don't think anyone's taking explosives to here yet to get a slingshot.
Okay. Nice, you know, very good for our foolish Lost Woods.
The more important thing is that's our first child ranged weapon for Spirit Temple.
Oh, very true. Yes, yes. Yeah,
without getting into all the weeds, one of the important things to keep track of for Spirit Temple is ranged weapons for both ages, which in today's seed looks to be a bow for adult and a slingshot for child.
Mm-hmm.
Explosives, ZL is a big one, which we've now picked up. And, well, obviously getting in the door, so Requiem and Strengths.
Yeah, and on the surface you might think, too, it's like, oh, if we don't have that hook shot, you know, as our ranged weapon, that means that, you know, that Bolero could be important. But on the other hand, Spirit has, you know, quite a bit that you can do without a hook shot. It's maybe a bit annoying to route, because, especially as adult, you can't get back up certain places, but with early magic, you know, that Cola at least has so far, Furores makes navigating at least a little easier through Spirit without a hook shot. So, could be quite interesting to see where that path is going to lead us.
Yeah, Requiem is most likely the SFM path. Zelda's Lullaby cannot be directly hinted path in these settings because it's so often required for so many different things, it tends to be a bit redundant to have it be a direct path, but seeing it lays to ZL can be hinted path.
Yes.
So Requiem could be for that, it could be Spirit access, it could be Fire access, who knows?
Yeah.
Not very helpful right now. Sometimes path hints can be great for if it's a late game item or for a check that you wouldn't necessarily go to otherwise. Other times it's like, okay, thank you, that unlocks the entire seed.
Yeah.
And that's just how RNG is sometimes. Sometimes you'll get the hints that open up tons of info, and others you'll be like, okay, thanks for not much.
Yeah.
But that's RNG for you, as with, you know, randomizer.
Right. Yeah, it's, you know, it is sometimes funny, the whole idea of, you know, competitive rando, when it's like, you know, so much of it comes down to skill, of course, but then sometimes, you know, did you check the right things? And that's why
And that's rando for you.
Exactly.
Some people complain a bit, but it is randomizer.
Yes.
So a degree of luck will always play a factor. If you hated it, don't play random.
Exactly.
We do try to eliminate some of the more egregious levels of weirdness, like, since this is a cash prize tourney, you know, there's a reason why we haven't gone for some of the more off-the-wall settings that Ocarina of Time Randomizer offers.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do Key Sanity, we don't do Sonic Sanity, or Crates, or Full Entrance Rando, or anything like that. Hyrule Field is path to Baronade, good to know. Good thing we have explosives galore to take to that early.
Yeah, that's an interesting path to see early, for sure. Yeah, we don't have either item for Baronade yet, so...
Yeah, the Requiem Naruto's letter, and that's our second duel of the seed. Adult Lake is, Labyrinth and, Adult Fishing are both dead. Good to know. Those can be rather easy to forget, so always nice to know that, and that's Strength 2 for Cola.
Yep, and so Cola's the first with Strength 2, probably going to go also get the Mirror Shield soon, too, so maybe Cola's going to give us the first intel on what might be in Spirit.
Yeah, It's definitely a little smelly on the spirit front. Cola's gonna get
Yeah.
Marshall and Bo out of DC, because Bo is in here too.
I don't know if you
Again,
rush it,
ranged
though.
weaponry.
I don't know if you rush Spirit when you know, too, that it could just be Requiem for Bolero for ZL if all hook shots are ZL locked.
It's
And
too early to
hovers.
say for sure. I might try and take a look in Fire Temple first, because Bolero could also be for that, and Fire is at least required.
Yes, always good to chase progression.
But Spirit is going to be something you keep on your mind, because
it's smelling very fishy.
Yes.
Yeah, and Fountain to Morpha is an interesting hint too. We've seen that one already, but that definitely logically is going to require us to find letter, which might be in field, could be for that path that we just saw for Baronade earlier. earlier.
Because of our split win conditions, where I need the 3 stones for this Rainbow Bridge, and the Gens Castle Bosque is behind the Shadow and Spirit medallions, we have split win conditions as compared to a lot of other racing settings which have straight 6 medallions, and that's it. With the split win conditions, that means that the 3 stones for the bridge get first priority for our path hits before these Shadow and Spirit medallions. So any item that is required to beat one of the 3 stones cannot be hinted on the path to the 2 required medallions. Since Dodongo's Cavern is a medallion, and this seed appears fairly bomb-locked, we're not going to get a path to King Dodongo here.
Yeah, if DC is a
also,
required
our
medallion,
first
you're...
bomb bag's hinted anyway on chickens, so...
Yes.
You also cannot get redundant hints. Getting a Kakariko path to King Dodongo, even if even if King Dodongo wasn't a medallion for that bomb bag, would be extremely redundant to the point of silliness. Hyrule Field to Baronade also cannot be for Epona's Song, in part because, which is on OOT, in part because Epona's Song is behind Baronade, and in part, again, it's redundant.
Yep. Yeah, any item that's already hinted, even if it's like kind of implied through a path, or at least the check that is implied from the path cannot be hinted again as then a sometimes hint or an always hint. So just to help with making sure, just like turning off ZL as a possible path, just to kind of make sure that there's at least some baseline level of usefulness with paths.
Yes. Again, you can still get hints like this Requiem. 100% useless.
Yeah.
There's also, this really doesn't come up in specific detail, it's mostly a fun fact, but for a hint also cannot, there's 2 copies of every hint in this hint distribution, and 1 copy must be available before the thing it's hinting.
Yeah, and that really just kind of helps make sure that you don't have to check every hint stone, because some of them are a bit annoying to get to, like back of lake or bottom of valley if you're not doing, valley lake routing or something like that. So
or even just simpler things like making sure that, those copies of Ruda's letter is on 50 skulls is not in Zora's Fountain.
Yes, exactly. Making sure that,
that would be really, really rude.
Yes. Yeah, put the hint in a place where you could only access after you've already figured out the info from that hint.
Yes. You can't have 1 copy of such a hint in Zora's Fountain, you just can't have both, because then it would be like, oh, well...
Yep. But yeah, as you were saying earlier, I think some of it got cut off from your mic earlier, but you were talking sort of about that Fountain to Morpha hint with, because water is a medallion, that, would be very interesting if, it can't possibly, I think, be the first hook shot that's there for Morpha.
Not impossible, but highly unlikely. None of Jabu Fire and Deku necessarily hard require it. We do know that the Fire Scarecrow's check is dead, but hookshot also locks a lot of things in the game generally, so not likely.
That's fair. Yeah.
More likely are to be Iron Boots or Long Shot, which don't lock a whole lot else aside from more fun.
Yes, fair enough. Yeah, I kind of said that while I was still scanning through the medallions, like, is that true? And then, yeah, you took the words out of my mouth there. Yeah, we're just kind of in a bit of a catch-up mode right now. Both runners are kind of doing locations we've already seen from the other, so... at this point, we can really only speculate where a lot of these paths are telling us to go. Which, is potentially a good thing, too. Sometimes, when your paths resolve right away and you kind of just get the item and know, then you start just having to check dense areas again. Like, you just don't... you don't have much information to rely on. So sometimes it's kind of nice to get these hints that maybe you're a little obtuse and kind of make you check a few locations, just because then you get a little more bang for your buck out of that hint.
No, absolutely. And other times, it's a mix between seeds where you've all your hints are resolved and you spend half an hour looking for your last item someplace silly, or seeds where your hints gave you all the info and you just spent 30 minutes clearing dungeons because you know where everything is. It's good to have a mix. We don't want all of one or all of the other all the time.
Yeah, definitely
it's
the
good
short.
To have a mix of both.
Immediately resolving hints. Yeah, immediately resolving hints sometimes is what leads to those casino seeds sometimes too. Mm-hmm. But you can also get some giant headaches out of some hints that just are like, "Hey, congratulations! This opened up the entire seed. Good luck."
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm reading our SFM to go. A path is potentially okay, thank you, that opens everything.
Yeah, especially when it might just be, hey, this unlocks ZL for you, or will lead to a hook shot, which will lead to everything. And yeah, nothing new that we're seeing here yet. Just this picking up the slingshot for that logical child spirit access. But child spirit didn't really give us much of anything, but could be some weird spirit key logic for something on the adult side of spirit if that's just what the SFM hint is pointing toward.
Yeah, we haven't seen adult spirit yet, so we don't know what the key layout is on that side.
And I have a feeling we're probably not going to see it for a little bit.
Logic behind dins or fire arrows. We do have magic and bow logically already.
Thank you for reading the doc.
Spirit immediately, but it is going to be on their runners' minds, especially if they run out of anything else to do in the seed.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not required necessarily with the fact that the game has given us basically everything but a hookshot to do Spirit Temple with is mildly concerning.
Yes.
Now we've got ZL, we've got ranged weapons, we've got strength upgrades, we've got a mirror shield, we've got a vanilla sun song.
And we can do everything except the boss.
Yeah. One thing to note, that is full song knowledge for us. We've gotten a lot of song hints today, so we now know Sun Song being here means that Sorry Song is our song in Ice Cavern.
Yeah, our runners aren't going to really be chasing that hard, especially with Foolish Lost Woods.
Yeah. Okay, looks like Cola is... I love this tunic color, by the way. Matches the mirror shield really well. I love this shade of blue. Cola's going to take a dip into Spirit Temple, set for Roars here somewhere, and then probably take a trip into Fire after that, following those paths.
Yeah, Fire's definitely the better play here, just because it is guaranteed progression. We're getting a little preview here.
Really could go either way, because Bolero Requiem is our access to both.
Yeah. Well, not just either way, but almost any way, too.
Yeah, no hook shots, no hover boots. If Bolero's is our extended path because of because of fire access, that would mean it locks both hook shots and hover boots.
Yep.
Now, admittedly, this is all for Goma. We have no idea where this K-Sword is, but it must be somewhere behind this.
Behind any of these spaghetti paths.
Or Song of Time, but that would be unusual. Song of Time doesn't unlock a whole lot in these settings. 20 and 30 skulls are dead, 40 and 50 are off, so it is definitely 100% not for skulls of any kind. No keys on adult side.
Could be right side of GTG, but we'd also need, that would have to be, Wait.
We'd
Yeah,
have to find long shot for access.
Right, yeah, because of the
OAD. So,
yes.
not AD, OOT, so we're not getting Apotas anytime fast.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
given we've got no hook shots right now, we're not seeing GTG for a bit.
No.
The only other the other thing of note is going to be River Chest and Water, which again, not seeing.
Yep. Oh, here we go.
Chest.
Big chest and spirit.
To note, no keys on the adult side means that we are fire locked out of the rest of this place. We only found 3 keys, and third one is there, and all of adult spirit is 3 key locked from here.
All right, fish bottle. Let's go.
That is our first bottle, which is okay. That doesn't really do anything for context.
Yeah, because especially with no logical opponents, it's not like it's going to be some weird big pose logic or anything like that.
And there is a trick to skip over King Zora's head without turning in Rudo's letter. It's not in logic. So.
Right. Oh, interesting.
So someone might go head off to Ice Cavern with it at some point, but that's not the reason the thing's going to be packed.
Cola just tried to jump up to that big chest without hookshot, but was unsuccessful at that.
I think you're pretty fairly sure you need hookshot hovers for it.
Yeah, I was like, is this a trick I don't know, or is this just we just trying it for fun?
I think it's the latter.
Yeah.
And Cola is locked out. He's gonna set for Roarswind to get back to the adult side door because he can't get back up there without a hookshot.
Right. Yeah, so there is a big chest up there, but it is locked behind a hookshot or hovers, so...
We're not getting it.
Nope. That would be funny if that were the path, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nothing
and
too interesting.
Pyra making the play we were discussing of Fire Temple.
Yeah, which I think is the prudent play here. You can beat fire with your hammer and choose, so, I guess, not logically, but of course we do know there's a logical bomb bag. I just don't think we're going to be likely to see it.
And particularly, bowling is going to be, it exists.
It exists. I am threatened by Chew Bowling, but I will ignore that threat. And once again, we get a look at that big chest that we can't grab. Or maybe, I don't know, Cola really seems like to be lining something up here.
Doesn't seem like it's working. Cola does sometimes show some cutting-edge strats, but I don't happen to know that one, if it exists.
Well, Cola's going for it, it looks like. As Cola continues to use furores to get back up here.
No,
okay, never mind.
You can't jump up to this, it's just awkward. God, I hadn't seen it before. It's fairly unusual to get up to it's not terribly common to see adult spirit without a hookshot, admittedly, or hover boots.
Yeah.
See, doesn't, typically give you the entire spirit kit except the hookshot sub half hour?
It's definitely a bizarre. I hadn't even thought about that chest wasn't in logic yet, because I was thinking like, oh yeah, you could do it just basically about everything but the boss, but I forgot about that one being locked behind either hovers or hook.
Mm-hmm. Heart piece there. We're still missing 2 small keys and 1 small key and the boss key here in spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Last small key can be anywhere, like that.
Like that, right there. Yep.
And there's the boss key.
Okay. Just
Game
add
sometimes
hookshot.
has a sense of jokes
Yeah.
when it comes to completing my sentences.
That's right. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what...
Not longshot lock today, for what that's worth. Another quirky spirit key logic.
Yes, the right hand key potential there. Yeah, it's always something I forget about with with reading hints and thinking like, oh yeah, it could just be for long shot to get the stupid key on the right hand. Weird quirk of logic. It needs to make sure that you can access every check. So even though you need a key to get to the one check on that other hand, you could theoretically lock yourself out of that key, get all the other keys and then never unlock that door. But so the game, even though you would never need that key because it would only be locking a key, still makes it so that you have to be able to get it. Therefore, logic will say, if there's ever a key there, because of this weird corner case, you must have a long shot to be able to access it from the left hand.
Logic is extremely idiot-proof.
Yes. Even for the case of losing a completely unnecessary key if you ever put yourself in that situation.
It's not always intuitive type of idiot-proof, but it is pretty idiot-proof. We get a lot of people in the Ocarina of Time Randomizer main Discord everywhere, nice light arrows, who, every week, who are like, hey, I'm playing OTR for the first time, the seat's broken. No, it isn't.
Yeah.
Unless there are some settings that are in development. Big shoutouts to Real Rob, who has developed many of the more interesting settings in more recent years, such as crates, pots, souls, and Silver Rupee Shuffle, among other things. Those are the ones coming to mind right now. Some of the more experimental settings can break things. I've found a few bugs over the years myself. Mostly with said experimental settings. Random Settings League, speaking of that earlier, has found a few bugs because by nature of random settings, they've found a few bugs from combining settings no one would ever play with together normally.
See, I've always been convinced that RSL was just like a conspiracy theory from the devs to find bugs and everything for them.
But in fairly mainstream quote-unquote type settings like SGL, where it's all basically just basic item shuffle, we're not playtesting any super interesting, any wacky settings, you're not going to see a broken seat.
Yeah. If you're playing some standard settings and you think something's broken, unfortunately, it's probably you, or just OTR is weird and is broken, but not in the way you think it is.
There are definitely some unintuitive parts of logic, but it is very rare to see an unbeatable seat.
Yep. Well, without hookshot, it's actually very nice that we got that Pierre hint, huh?
It is, yeah.
That is
really making us climb it today.
Yeah, it really is.
We saw a node upgrade in Lower River for Cola. That is a relatively recent addition to the randomizer, where there's a bit of a different model for it compared to regular. Gee, thank you! There's our final hint for our final song, which you knew already.
Great sometimes hint use.
Again, sometimes hints are a bit eye-roll inducing.
Yes.
But not everything can be a winner.
Yeah, normally that Pierre check would be, if we're doing hookless fire, that would definitely be a major concern. That you might be orphaning.
This domain is Path to Morpha. That's a child side because KZ's hinted dead.
Yeah, interesting. And we have another slingshot. Wow, okay.
Great!
So we are just finding all of the bait in fire that could be resolving that path, but seems more and more likely to be just one of these paths that's the worst side of those, wild spaghetti paths that it's just turning into spaghetti the entire seed.
Yeah, because Superior Temple has also been a snore so far, and is fire locked to boot, so we're not seeing anything more in there for the moment from the game's perspective. Fire is entirely in logic. We've got explosives out the wazoo, hammer, and so on. There's our other ones from the Goma. It's just, nothing much has turned up so far.
Yep.
Sometimes that's just how it goes. RNG will RNG you.
At the very least for Pyra, they're not exploring this path at the, with an early boss key and making it potential risky time loss. You're going to have to be checking all this stuff for the boss key, and oh my gosh, we are really climbing. So at the very least, everyone's going to be doing this. So it's not we're not turning this into a potential seed of who did and who didn't climb fire. Everybody's going to be doing it.
Yep.
And there it is.
There's a boss key. One thing we haven't mentioned is that this is chest appearance matches contents, both texture and size. So you'll notice that boss keys are in big chests, small keys were in this silver-lined, silver-edged small chests. All of the major items have been in big gold chests. And heart pieces have been in pink special heart designed chest. That is all intentional. This way you can, that's why people, 4 hearts is very normal. That's what's path. Figures.
Yeah, that's kind of what we figured earlier too. That
this is
iron boots.
Dead obvious paths. Thank you. Good.
Yep. Yeah, and also what we figured too with it being
eventually because Jabu is required. So well.
Yep. Yeah, and with it being a key path rather than a bridge path. Far more likely that it came up as irons or at the very least, second hook or long shot.
Hey, found iceberg as a big Poe bottle. This is one of only 2 bottle contents that can be logically relevant.
Yes.
The game does not expect you to use blue fire in a bottle because you could dump it out and get yourself stuck. Again, game's idiot. Or in general, sometimes you just have to empty a bottle for reasons anyway that are not brain fart related. Just sometimes a game you have to.
Yeah, big Poes are actually idiot proof though. Once you get a big Poe in a bottle,
you can't get rid of it without turning it in.
Yep.
Yes, this is still out of logic. We have no idea where the level is.
Yeah, but we haven't seen all the field checks like Southfield yet, have we?
No, and field is path to Baronade, so it's got to be somewhere in field. We even have irons for Tektite now. So I expect Kola's gonna take his hammer and iron boots out that way sometime. We'll be a little slow with that Epona song, but you kind of have to.
Yeah, no Eponas, no Serenade even to get to the southern end.
Yep. The Serenade is on Burning Cack, and we are not getting that. Also, Serenade being on Burning Cack means this early Spirit Kid just feels bad.
Is Kola just like rushing ice for the memes right now? Because I don't know what Kola knows about songs for sure,
he was primarily focusing on the path, I think. To Morpha, hoping for...
Oh, maybe just to get
perhaps
first
an out-of-logic long shot.
Yeah. Not the logical first hook, but a first hook.
I think...
I mean, it could be, but...
It would be unusual, although...
It would be very unusual if that were... If first hook were in Fountain.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention to... I wasn't paying attention to fire keys, though. I because Pyra... Oh, scale. Okay. But Pyra had 0 when picking up the boss key. If there is a key on Volve, does that mean that Volve and then the top of fire is Song of Time locked? I mean, I guess this already is on the path for SFM, which had Song of Time. So it doesn't really matter, I guess, this thought experiment.
I'm honestly not sure.
Yeah. I wasn't keeping track of the keys too heavily if one might have been skipped or something.
Sense of direction is trash, and I also watch way more OOTR than I play, so I'm actually really, really bad with Fire Temple keys, as it were. I'm aware this sounds ironic, but it's true. I'm really bad with Fire Temple keys. I'm great with Spirit Temple, I'm great with Water Temple, I do not remember Fire Temple key logic.
Thank you, chat, for answering my question. Appreciate it. Yeah, Wayfaring Fox, you come in clutch for both clarifying Spirit Vanilla being not in logic, not because of just the key layout, but because Dins.
That's not what we wanted, game.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
How about your entire Shadow kit now?
Yeah.
Except for Hook Shot.
Yep. So, and even without hook shot, you can still do quite a bit of shadow without, basically right up until the spike room with the redeads, because that's the first time you'll actually need to hook shot up to something. So, that would be an interesting place to find your first hook.
In other news, Coca-Cola just skipped the last chest of Ice Cavern. Interesting.
That is very interesting.
I'm a little confused. It's Sorry Song, which I know isn't the most useful with Lost Woods Foolish, but it's not no checks, and there isn't also a chest in that room.
Right.
Huh.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely an interesting play.
I've made a note of it for later, but yeah, not really sure on that one. I mean, it is a little slow because you have to push the blocks in this situation without, or do glitchless jumps, which isn't the fastest thing of all time, but I'm a little baffled on that one.
Yeah, Top of Fire.
So that's at least something.
Unlike Qualifier, is not going to isolate Top of Fire with the paths as they are. So this will be interesting to see what this is here. Oh, all right. We got treasure chest game. Get your guesses in very quickly.
Yeah.
Should have been anticipating that with Richard and Magic. And the top is nothing. All right, so it's not fire, and I guess Pyro's going to be checking out the spirit side of this path next.
Makes sense between Requiem and ZL. And you know the whole "let's just give you the entire spirit kit" situation.
Yes. Well, and now we also we now have the Shadow Care package as well, so
which is moderately concerning.
Yes.
Again, nothing's definitive, and we do have a Field of Baronade and Field and Domain of Morpho, which are outstanding and available, but
I'm not sure you're gonna get anything that's really gonna unlock the whole seed for you here. But man, where is our first hook?
Field of Baronade very well might be Rudo's letter to go get the Shadow Kit. Which would be, okay, great, go Shadow Temple. Burning Cack is Serenade emo, so our Shadow and Spirit kits aren't for those checks.
Nope.
For whatever that's worth. I might be slightly less bad if the game had told us it was required song, but as it were, it's like, oh, well, this is something.
Yeah, I guess it is fairly likely we see a hook in one of the child domain checks.
Tafile saying they're just staring at the Zealox Hall hookshot and hovers path for Goma. Right now, Tafile, it's kind of feeling like Requiem into Bolero just locks the seed. Period. Is about what I'm reading out of this right now.
Yeah, which is just so many things. Like, it could be all these weird dungeons now that we're getting access to, or not weird,
We've
but
seen the
non-required.
Abominable. What is that in the Tektite Grotto? I have no idea. But Wolf's Grotto, I'm pretty sure was junk of some sort.
Yeah, pretty sure that was junk too.
I have no memory of what it was,
nope.
But I'm pretty sure we saw it because they both had plenty of chews when they were there. Yeah, Kula's gonna find out what our field path is.
Yep. Probably doing a smart routing here of just kind of going through South Field. Now with the scale, can just go straight into Domain to hopefully pick up a hook shot there, or at least something that's going to lead us to one.
Okay, Palm says looking like a wallet or palm bag in Tektite Grotto. I was wondering if that might be a bag-shaped something.
The unfortunate thing is that actually could, especially with the path prioritization here too, there's a chance we might just find Boomerang in Field and then Letter in Domain, which just gives us access to our Iron Boots.
Iron Boots and, yeah, which would be great. Hey, Big Chest, speaking of that. Water Darkling River Chest is dead. Great.
More magic.
Double magic is not our path. First magic was on Talon's Chickens. When there are multiple copies of an item which are functionally identical, none of them can be path or foolish because you could get any of them. So if there's two identically functional magic meters, neither of them are path.
Yeah. Yeah, the only time it can be path is if one of the magics locks the other magic effectively.
There is a running joke in the community of magic being on second magic in shadow.
Yep. Second magic's just always seems to end up being in shadow if it is going to be locked.
Yeah. To note, for whatever little it's worth, we do have 2 slingshots available. I'm pretty sure the field path is here, by the way. We have 2 slingshots available because one in fire is in.
Yep.
And what's our scrub friend telling us today?
Oh, it's
Yeah,
ladder.
that checks.
Okay. Alrighty.
Not
So
surprised.
not the nightmare scenario I was talking about, at least.
Yeah, also not super interesting, though.
No.
It's like, okay, thank you, we needed that. Great.
Yep.
Right after getting a reminder that found his path to Morpha. Yep.
Yep. Good times. All right, we get to see some potentially some childlike checks. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna at least see fishing here before we head into our path domain.
And letter spot, too.
Yes. Yep.
I am wondering as well what our last path hint is, because we are missing one. The game does try to give you a path to each dungeon, and we've seen one for every dungeon except Volve. Although, unfortunately, I don't think a Volve path would be very useful. Chat suggests it might be for Hammer, and in any case, we have everything we need for Volve, so... not too helpful.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure from the keys that you could logically, get to the top. I think, again, I wasn't paying attention too much, but I think from what chat was saying with the skipped key that Pyra made, that you could make it to the top without needing to beat Volve first, which means you would not need hovers logically to beat fire. So, even more likelihood that we're just going to be pointing at Hammer. Could be pointing at Bow, because I do think that it was Bow locked to access the top where the boss key was.
It was bow locked, yeah. It could be Bolero too, because
Of course.
the same
Yep.
the same item can't be hinted directly path twice for redundant discussion earlier, but it can be secondary path like that. Yeah, see, it's kind of dried up a bit. Fire was an utter snorefest. There
Yeah.
was lights were in there. We'll need them eventually, but they don't actually do anything in this game otherwise, unlike some other Zeldas.
There was a lot of bait though. We were teased quite a bit by fire.
Oh yeah. Oh, if you would like more information on the Speedgaming, like Ocarina of Time randomizer tournaments, I suggest joining the Ocarina of Time Speedgaming Live Discord. We have a distinct one separate from the SGL main Discord for organization and information. You can find everything in there. I don't control the SD board, unfortunately.
Alrighty. We're gonna see if the torches is our path first here. Potentially.
We know it's not KZ because he's been hinted, so...
Yep. Yeah, it's gotta be one of these 2 child checks for sure. Yeah, man, this seed so far just has been hints baiting us to check a lot of things that we didn't need to check.
Yeah, pretty much. And we get first time
Hook shot.
That is
Alright.
interesting for previous discussion. That would imply that our boomerang and our key sword are not hookshot locked,
Right.
or that the other hookshot's available somewhere.
Yeah, that definitely, yeah, because we have, to get here as child, we just need that scale, which was in Spirit, was it?
No, that was the ice.
No, it was ice.
That
Was
in
ice.
Tower.
Oh yeah, so that's not in, well, it is in logic from bombs, but that bombs put you in logic for here anyway with blowing up the rocks and river, so, So that hookshot, even though we're finding it almost an hour in, is logically available fairly early.
Par's clearing as much as Spirit as he can, it looks like, yes. Can't beat Spirit without a hookshot. There is a strat to do it, but it's banned because it's a really, really dumb strat. But we'll do everything else.
Climbing all over the arms.
It's quite the thing, yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna set for Rose up here and get out of here.
Yep.
And Killa taking a look in Jabu, not as bad as Farore's Wind, and there's, I would not be completely surprised to see a Boomerang in here.
I mean, the way that a lot of these SGL seeds have gone, that would be a very fitting way to wrap up SGL quals. And just some more fun rando garbage thrown at us. But as you say, at the very least, this doesn't feel like too bad of a play to make when you do have Furores and have to come back here later anyway.
Yep, exactly. And to the point, too, about garbage seeds. I've said this before and I'll say it again, but there is what's called Plando. Planned, you know, it's a it's a portmanteau of plan and randomizer. Plandomizer is where you can plan some or all of a seed's item placements. Also, shoutouts to the fact that Rudo's got infinite damage or something stupid. Yes. It's quite funny.
We're seeing Rudo's sharp rear come into play here with taking those enemies out.
But anyway, there is a thing called Plando where you can plan somewhere all settings, so it could be some funny showcases. We've seen some funny showcases over the years of Plando with various stuff. But I've said this before, I'll say it again. The randomized algorithm will naturally come up with stuff that no human being would ever think of.
Yep. We can try to plan trash, but sometimes unplanned trash is even worse.
Mm-hmm. Or it'll take the trash you planned and make it 10 times worse.
Yes. Yeah, sometimes I think the best plandos are starting from a seed, catastrophizing what could possibly happen, and then plandoing it into existence.
But yeah, some of the worst seeds I've ever seen have been just naturally rolled, no whatever, just the game decided to be a thing today.
Ugh. But yeah, I've not had good run-ins with plandos. I feel like every time I try to do a plando for one reason or another, I always seem to run into just getting Dampe errors every time I try to run it.
Oh yeah, syntax is very fiddly. Freaky Fridays haven't been a thing for a while now, but I used to do Freaky, where we used to be one of the organizers for Freaky Friday races, and we saw some very interesting things. People wondering what Killa's doing. This is for Roros.
Yep. Also, happy belated 1 hour, everybody.
Happy 1 hour, everyone. We have seen people go into light medallion dungeons, pre-complete light medallion dungeons before. Again, things happen. Unless you're looking for skulls, please don't.
Yeah. Oh, we get to finally see what this is.
I guess Go didn't set for Rose in place. Oh hey, speaking of running memes, that's another one.
Oh no.
Victory in Spirit.
Oh no.
We're not getting there anytime fast though, because OGC is dead and Light Trial is Light Trial.
Yeah, and it would have to just be for long shot, really.
Yeah, that's about the only thing that could be in there. We're on a Boomerang and K-Sword hunt right now, and those two could be... Oops, sorry. Those two could be quite a number of places. I mean, because our Bare Knight path is Rudo's, which, gee, thank you.
Yeah.
Not.
Well, I mean, it was for Southfield.
Which can be a bit skippable. So nice to have, but it doesn't tell us anything about where Rang's gone to.
Right.
And SFM Path to Goma is for Requiem for everything, apparently, so thanks.
Yup. Yeah, definitely the two extremes of path hints right there, for sure. And we get to see I think that's the first time we've seen a child reset too, which is yep. So we're I guess Pyro's just gonna pick up the bomb bag while we're here, just for convenience sake, and down to 6 chews too. That's kind of a good time to just be like, yep, screw it, let's just get some bombs.
Pyro has been judicious with chew usage. Yeah, Kola cleared out the Strength 3, but didn't quite want to commit to Twin Rova. It's a really long fight.
Yeah.
4 minutes. And it's for 1 check. We know Burning Cack is 100% dead.
So K-Sword's just going to be there.
This is not random Warp Song destinations, and it is not Overworld DR. Because Serenade can be relevant in neither of those settings, which do both exist. There's very few things that are 100% true no matter what in OOTR. We speak in reference to these settings. There are many other settings and setting combinations out there. Very, very little is a hard and fast truth. Unless you quite literally physically can't get to a check without it. Get to a check in a room without it, more or less.
Right.
There's very little in the way of 100% true 100% of the time things in Rando.
Well, especially just because I think so many different settings play with different, bridge or key conditions too. Because that always kind of screws with what you kind of know about how the thing works.
Yeah. And
or you play
RSL
Triforce
also
Splits.
basically throws everything out the window.
Yep. Yeah, or you play Triforce Hunt or Triforce Blitz, and then the entire condition for winning completely changes.
Pyro showing off one of the only loud glitches in Randomizer. We basically play on a glitchless rule set. Flamesword is loud because the community voted for it, and it only really opens up this check and is convenient for a couple others, like we saw in Domain. Otherwise, there is a singular clip allowed in Shadow Temple in the Crusher Room because it skips a really silly glitchless jump. And that's about it.
Alright, we're Pyra clearing through a lot of the gross Sphere 1 child checks here. Looks like we're gonna see Dampe after clearing the Redead Grave here.
Just making good use of warp slugs to get around the map. We do have all of them but Serenade, so...
Yep. Which is definitely an underrated song for getting around.
Oh, for sure.
It is nice to see it, I guess, to some extent, with, if we had any other song on this seed, on Burning Cack, I would be scared of AD on this seed, but... Serenade is not logically required to do anything. It just really makes getting around the world a lot nicer.
Yep.
Alright, nothing to see here.
No, but yeah, I'm kind of wondering where we'll see our runners go after this next bit, because Kulla's gonna spend the next, 10 minutes clearing Fire Temple.
Yep.
Pyro's cleaning up some child checks, gonna go to Field and Domain probably here. And then...
Yeah, this really is just kind of growing into a very...
I would be surprised to see a Pyro clear Ice out and going back adult. And then at that point, yeah, Shadow Temple smells, I think, is my opinion right now.
Yeah, Shadow Temple is definitely very smelly right now. I mean, the thing too is just even though that that does seem like a a likely place to go, we're really just kind of running it feels like into a casino at this point, especially for Boomerang. Completely unhinted, just really could be anywhere. Kakiri Sword we have a little more information about, but only
barely.
Yeah, barely. It's ZL locked. Oh no, it's not anymore because we found that hook shot. It's
something locked. That's
something. Yeah, Requiem ? Twin Rova maybe.
Hookshot is ZL locked though because you don't you have bombs in ZL as child domain access. We don't have skills in ice.
Yes, very very good point. So.
Yeah, the game's like, yes, right click was path for everything. Thank you. I'm genuinely just largely ignoring the hint because yes,
Yep.
it's path. It locks
Yep.
everything in the game.
Yep.
Thank you for the non-information.
Yeah, we're just gonna be checking density pretty quickly here, and Shadow's
One
pretty
place-
dense.
Yeah, you know one place we haven't seen yet?
What's that?
Kokiri Forest.
Have we not?
Oh no, we have seen Meadow's house. Never mind, I was thinking as.
I was like, I swore we have.
No, we have. I'm just being a scatterbrain. Never mind, because we were able to
Okay.
choose from there. So yeah, never mind. I was thinking because it does sometimes get skipped with foolish last bits, but not today, and I'm just a scatterbrain. Oops.
It's okay. Yeah, we're seeing once again just some kind of catch-up time for both runners.
We've seen from reminded now back from side that we're double dark link are 2 of our 4 items. Another item's probably on Morpha. It's not really appealing to go in there for potentially 1 item right now.
Well, especially too because we're with Iron Boots being a key path, you're not going to find Boomerang or Kokiri Sword there.
Longshot might be in there, but that's it.
That's about it, yeah. So I think personally, given given that all you can find is Longshot, and still then guaranteed to be looking for 2 more items, you know, in the world where Longshot is locked behind one of those 2 items, you probably still want to be doing things that are gonna chase for Boomerang or Kokiri Sword.
Kola is trying a strat to get on top of the maze from the chest here.
Yep.
Does get it.
Yeah, Cole unfortunately dropped down by accident earlier, it looked like.
Okay, Chad was saying we haven't seen the case or chest. That's what I was thinking of. Oops.
Oh, we haven't seen the case or chest. Okay.
Because they did it as a build.
Okay.
It is an easy to orphan check, and if case sword is vanilla, they're gonna be kind of mad.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that can't be the case because it's Sphere 0, so never mind.
Yeah, it's got to be at least somewhat deep, but not very. It could be the last check of ice.
Could be last check of ice. Boomerang
Yeah.
or the other hookshot could be there, though.
Yeah, it's an hour in, and I feel like I'm... I mean, granted, this is an SGL seed, so there's definitely usually a good amount of thinking to be done here, but it feels very fast, this seed, that we're kind of getting pushed into this sort of mostly checking density and thinking about the way the seed could be kind of layering things here.
Yep, knowing even just like the basics of logic and where stuff can and can't be can be a very valuable asset in racing. You know, you're not required to memorize the spirit key logic document by any means, but knowing the basics of path prioritization can be quite helpful.
Yeah,
And it has better than a couple quals already.
Yeah, if we find a long shot, it will become good knowledge to know to just go mode water at that point. As water will not be able to house the Kokiri Sword or Boomerang with the way the logic has turned out.
Nearing the top of fire for Kola.
Yeah, I mean, given the info we have, it's definitely good to double check this. Although I guess with the first hook location, fire isn't necessarily on that Kokiri Sword path anymore. Unless there's other ZL locked things that might be locking it that I'm not thinking heavily
Bolero
about
locks this place.
it. Oh, it does. Yes, that's right. That was on that song path. Okay.
So Frogs 1 had a claim check. So Big Run is sometimes hint because the trade quest is fixed to be claim checked only in these settings, so Big Run might have a gift for us.
Interesting.
Big Run is not particularly SFM locked of any variety.
No, yeah, because you have storms from Adult CAC and bombs from Cuckoos, so you can get here pretty quickly without anything for any of the song stuff from SFM.
No space in the command Sora key. I should probably remove Song of Time from that command. It is very obviously Requiem for everything.
Yes. Alright, Empira gonna be catching up on the domain checks here and getting first hook finally. So, slowly converging back to, you know, pretty similar parts of the world checked here. But yeah, especially with GTG still out of logic, you know, that Shadow really is turning into the densest place available. Although currently Cola is the only one with the requisite items to be able to do that.
But I have to expect Pyre will be heading to Ice in a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh. That's a rough death there. Trying to do the chew strats to damage Volve in the in the one little hitbox there. And got caught in the fire. I guess Cola's gonna be like, let's just do this later? Interesting.
Maybe just wants more explosives, I guess. He does know what's a key, so... Or no, he doesn't know what's a key. Just decided he wants to go check items first. Which, I guess, fast enough to get back there with Bolero. It's not really going to get much faster, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. To note,
Maybe you find
Cola,
a...
this race will not make a difference to Cola's seeding at all. He has completed 8 great Qualifier races already. He's just doing this for the practice, so he does not have to worry about making a really good time. He's just doing it for the practice of playing the seed, so... You may admit, it's this thing called metagaming, where someone is looking to get a good score, a really good score, because it's the only way they might qualify, or if they're racing against a really tough opponent who normally would beat them on average, you know, 80% of the time or what have you, then they might do some different plays than typical.
I mean, personally, I'm just excited to see some new checks.
Or if you know this race doesn't matter at all, like for Koa, you might do some more interesting strats.
Yeah, like that weird spirit jump.
Or the whole bailout device without the last 2 checks.
Ah, there we go.
That does not surprise me at all.
Yep. I mean, do we bail out of here? And I guess we do clear out this little wing of initial wing in the back of Shadow here.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, I guess, you're gonna... I think most likely you pick up this key, go clear Deku, come back to Shadow, and it saves you a little bit of time not running all the way back from that chest back to the room with the hovers gap.
Yep. And there's irons for Pyro.
Yep. Pyro's about
Yeah,
to get the
those-
Shadow starter pack here in a few minutes.
And go, well, okay, I guess I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
I expect Pyro will full clear ice, so I'm curious to see what the last chest is.
Mm-hmm.
Very well might have something. This is... And we're just kind of in the... We're solidly in the mid-game, where we found a good majority of our items. We are clearing out dungeons as we can, and we're just looking for the last few things to finish the game.
Yeah, I know from talking with Pyro that, you know, their big, sort of, I would say, like, play style is chasing your advantage. Pyro did win one of the quals earlier, I think, kind of following the sort of, you know, whatever you've leaned into and sort of what you've checked is what you really push. I think it was an early ice cavern run that was out of logic that really put Pyro pretty far ahead in that earlier qual. I'm not really sure what sort of Pyro's advantage is over, like, currently right now with the way the seed's been going.
Not sure there is one. It might just be a, this game is telling me to go here, so that's what I'm doing.
Yep, exactly.
Because sometimes the game is just telling you, go here.
Yep.
Spirit Temple admittedly...
Uh-oh.
And admittedly, I think it's really hard to skip Spirit Temple this seed.
Yeah, definitely hard to skip Spirit Temple with how much, you know, stuff, you know, you start out with, for sure. Yeah, I think the stream missed what you were saying there, but I think we get the gist of just kind of.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Was
yeah,
drinking some water, so my mic was a little further away.
Oh, gotcha. But I think we got the gist of the general idea of this seed just kind of, you know, chasing what it's putting in front of you, because it's other than items to chase non-required areas, you know, the sea gets shallow pretty quick.
Yeah. Because your path ends do only get you so far.
Yeah.
SFM to Goma is very much path, but it also locks everything, so it's not all that helpful in the grand scheme of things. And everything else is pretty straightforward. Definitely wanted those hints to get those items, but it's cut and dry. Very clear, easy, alright, we're done.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, it's like the ideal path in terms of, like, you know, it giving you lots of information is where it's somewhere in the middle, where it's like it doesn't immediately give you the item, but it gives you something that, you know, gives you an area to focus on, then maybe gives you another area to focus on, and maybe you pick up a few required items along the way. But we're really getting either the one-step paths or the here's your entire seed path. And Kola not really finding much yet in Deku, so I'm guessing most likely we're going to be just seeing more Shadow Temple after the Deku clear.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what else.
Was nothing.
Oh.
Qualifier case would end up being in the first chest of Shadow, which is locked behind hovers and ice, which is ZL locked, among other things, so yes, SFM's path to Goma for that. And, you know, the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ZL locks all hook shots and hovers and the everything else.
It's an
because
SGL
this extended Bolero path because Bolero as a path, direct or indirect like here, is not the most common. Because there's two ways in which it can matter. One is for getting to the Fire Temple side of the Crater Bridge, because you have no hook shots or hovers to get there otherwise, and that's the case today. Or you can sometimes get the reverse, where you have multiple ways across the Crater Bridge, but it's your only way to Crater. That one's a bit rare, although we have seen that in Quals actually also, is that where somehow Bolero locks every single method of blowing Link the Goron up. And the hammer to climb up DMT the long way. One of the rarer cases because usually there's 9 different items that let you blow up Link the Goron. 3 bows, 3 bombs, and 3 strength upgrades. So it's rare, but Bolero can occasionally crop up where it just locks everything.
Yeah, we had I remember playing an SGL seed, I think, where we it was just a practice one we generated, but I think it was that I forget what item which it was, but one of those 9 items was locked behind crossing the entire like GTG wasteland area, which locked all of DMT for like your first bomb bag on the wall or something like that. It was wild. Like somehow you had to literally use, I think, long shot and hovers to just get all the way to Colossus to get something so that you could blow up Link the Goron. But yeah, those are special
pretty
seeds.
silly when it happens.
Yeah, those are special seeds.
Because usually the game throws you a bomb bag somewhere early. There's a lot of checks it locks.
Mm-hmm.
Or even hammer to climb up DMT on foot the long way.
Right.
Not 1-to-1, but a lot of times you're, well, for a number of things, they're quite comparable. And it's like, if the game has locked all 10 of these things behind Bolero, you've got some fun.
Oh yeah. Alright, we're seeing some new checks in Shadow finally now, so really Cole is just kind of on, for now, a boomerang hunt. Obviously looking for long shot too, but long shot isn't really helping us access anything new.
Spirit key logic is complicated. I don't quite feel like going into the lecture because it's actually not one that is the most relevant to this specific seed, but you can go read the document here.
Yeah, I'll say that the TLDR version of it is basically because because child and adult have access to many overlapping and some non-overlapping checks. It's very conservative on what you can and can't access, basically. So logically, you often can very easily access checks with less than what the logic requires, but it really tries to make it idiot-proof. For the reason that you can do some very weird routing as both child and adult that you probably, most normal people would never do.
Yep, and there's boomerang. So one thing we were talking about earlier, the hookshot being path, is that would, if that is first hookshot, that would imply that both boomerang and Kokiri sword are available without it, and that is the case. You could get both of those things with a pair of hover boots.
Very
Lovely
interesting.
game.
We love that. But
So
we
yeah,
did need
longshot
ZL.
is anywhere.
Did we?
If those had been deeper in Shadow, we would have required a non-hookshot luck hookshot, but nope. Longshot
you're right.
can
Yep.
be anywhere.
Yep, yep.
But Chikilla's gonna go beat Jabu and probably go return to Fire Temple and beat Volv and then go look Shadow. And then go look in Janen's, I think, is the next play. Light Trial is a very dense location.
Yeah, and Longshot could also just be in GTG too, because once we beat both Deku and Jabu now, we have access to GTG through Eponas. Could also be in Ganon's castle too. So yeah, Longshot's really gonna be quite the casino, because a lot of the world opens up now that our stones are done.
I'm gonna be very curious to see what the the first finish time on this is.
Yes, that's really gonna be very indicative of where that long shot is.
Yeah. I was gonna say, is Longshot here? Nope. Double
Nope.
defense. Because we're sub hour 30. Jabu's Kun will be here at about the hour and a half mark, a little more. Fires a couple minutes, and then yeah, this has a very. There's a very good chance this thing sub 2s.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on where Longshot is and how much hunting Cola does looking forward to.
Pyra's doing Twin Rova here, so this could be
Just cleaning it out, which is not insensible. They've already cleared most of it, came back for that big chest, which turned out to be strength 3. You never want to come back here.
Yep. Yeah, if nothing, might be a pretty big time sink over those who might have skipped this, though.
We also know that there's got to be at least a couple other people who did the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, especially given that, you know, that we have this on the path here, and still no case sword for Pyra, so...
Yeah, because Pyra hasn't gotten ice yet, and Nat has the Shadow Kit, which is apparently extremely required this scene.
Yep. Gives you 2 of your 3 stones, basically. Well, 1.5, I guess. You don't get your letter there, but... At the point we were at, it felt like just getting both your stones. Yeah, did Spirit actually get us anything useful? Or was all that bait, all that Mirror Shield Strength 2 nonsense early on just pure bait?
Right now, total bait.
Nice. Oh, Strength 3 was there, that's true. So, for now, it's bait. Unless somehow it turns into
That's why I said
play.
for now and not yes it was bait. It's for now.
For now. For now.
Something else to comment too. Totally defensible play from Killa to bail out of Shadow after K-Sword, but there's probably at least the winner. There's 18 players in this race. No spoilers on the other 16, but I wouldn't be surprised if 1 or 2 of them might have just gotten K-Sword and rang in one trip.
Yeah. I think the vast majority would bail after K-Sword, though. It's a good... You know, after the first 2 checks is a good spot to warp out and come back later, because you are saving a little bit of time of not running through the entirety of that front hallway of Shadow.
And that is Spirit done for Pyra. Well, the only thing of significant note was Strength 3.
Great.
Yay!
Yeah, it's one of those weird things where it's like, because you got all that stuff so early, it's like, is it required?
There's no direct hint.
No direct hint.
Yes, Requiem's path, but it's for everything in the game, so...
Yep. But again, because of the way the randomizer works to make it beatable, there's always sort of that, you know, the earlier you find stuff logically, the more likely it becomes what you need.
And the game was correct in throwing us everything for the Shadow Kit.
Yes. Although a lot of those shadow items were, I mean, in ice, so they were like, modest, a few spheres in.
True, and Bigoron was dead, so Frogs was not required. In general, seeming a little meh today. Did lock a strength upgrade, although we didn't need it. Is either rock required? Quite possibly. No guarantees. OGC is hinted dead, but Light Trail could have long shot.
Yeah, no hints have made it so that Ganon's can't contain items. It very well could contain our long shot with the path prioritization we have.
Pyra is off to ice, which checks.
Yep.
Wants to grab irons, might as well see what's here. Very nice Baronade fight for Kola.
Already got irons though because of the child fountain play.
Oh, when there's bottle percent. Alright, thanks.
Yep. I was mistaken earlier. I thought that Pyro was in Fountain about to do ice, but it was like, oh wait, Pyro's child.
Yep, you just don't need hooks for your stone dungeons. Which I wonder if anyone took a read on that domain to morph a hookshot path as a potential. That's probably first hookshot. I'm not really finding it. There's not much not hookshot lock checks left. Reasonable chance that's our first. Which means Boomerang and Case would have to be on some of the other remaining handful of non-hookshot lock checks. Which in today's case is half of Shadow Temple.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's something I'd be reading into super heavily when I would be playing. Something I would pay attention to watching seeds, but definitely not playing.
Oh yes, sitting here in our chairs, relaxing and commentating is a very different story from actually having the controller in hand.
Oh, yeah. It is sometimes the only way I really think is when there's foolish dungeons and I get a chance to be like, cool, let's go autopilot and think about what the heck I'm looking at. Alright, getting trolled by the Octorok a little bit here.
This bottle looks a little weird on the iceberg. From some angles, I thought it looked like a bit like a hat for a second.
Yeah.
Because the bottle part is see-through.
Yeah. Little top
like,
hat with a little green ghost wearing a top hat.
I do rather like both their color schemes today. Pyro's got a very teal,
Neon green almost, yeah.
and then that tunic is fairly neon, yes. And I mentioned earlier how much I like the rich blue color of Kola's tunic here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, minty greens are kind of one of my favorite shades. I definitely enjoy that color. Teals as well. Although I just play with a rainbow tunic so that I can see all the colors. Well, a lot of colors at least.
Yeah, Randomizer offers different tunic, different color options, even different character models. All models, all race legal models must follow the same skeleton, so you can't have a link that's, 3 times twice as tall as the usual one or whatnot. Because that'd be rather game-breaking. Adult Link in DC is game-breaking enough as it is.
Yeah.
But there are different models. We saw Emo Soda play the Stone of Agony model recently on another quality stream. That was funny.
I'm pretty sure that's just Emo's normal model.
It is.
Which I don't understand it. But it does work. Every time I watch Emo play, I swear it's like, does this not get in like your vision of where, like, just bow or hookshot or anything first person?
And if it works, it works. But yeah, you can choose them. It does not affect the placement of items in the seed, and that is customizable to your liking. You're saying yes, Stone of Agony is worth the most skin. I suppose you're just used to it.
Yep.
Alright, I was about to pick up their first of 3 major items in here, at least 3.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see what the end of Ice is.
I really hope for Kola's sake this is not a long shot.
Yeah. That would definitely flip this race for sure right now. Because the early Ice play for Cola is definitely what's giving him a lead right now.
And that's prelude into cannons as expected.
Yeah, we get to see if the if light trial's gonna matter here. Alright, about to continue completing the Spirit Care package.
Shadow.
Yep.
And going, wait, really, game? Hoppers and Dins?
In one room. Thank you very much, game.
Yeah. Again, this is a bit of a nothing hinting directly, but also, game, come on. I guess I know where I'm going.
Well, we're not. Apparently, we're not going to see the last check of ice here either. And light trial looks bogus so far.
This is just okay, fine, I get it, game. We're going.
Except for the. Except for the clear. Nope. Okay.
Well, that is a water temple-related item.
Yeah. If there's not another wallet available, or if that's like in water, that could be logically required for water.
Don't hard require it though, so yeah. Well, thanks, game.
Yeah.
And it
Well,
vanilla
alrighty.
spongy.
So, Spirit was worthless.
Yep. Again,
Officially
very
worthless.
defensible play to go in, though. It's hard to skip it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When you're given Requiem Path there, and even though that does unlock a lot of other things, it's kind of hard to ignore it.
Yeah.
Alright,
And Pirate is also doing the same thing with K-Sword. Makes sense to go chase your progression.
Yep.
Or your direct required progression, that's not, you know, this.
Not clearing out that second check, though, in that front hallway, so... They're gonna be going straight back there again.
He's gonna clear Deku, find nothing, and then go back to Shadow Temple and go, oh, okay, thank you, Boomerang. Big chest?
Alrighty. Nope.
Thanks.
Alright. We're gonna just see more bait in Ganon's castle. Yeah, I feel like after Ganon's, the play is probably just GTG.
Yeah, Gen's, GTG, or that rest of Shadow Temple are the big plays outstanding.
Yeah, true. Yeah, there's always just doing more Shadow, because yeah, we really didn't get deep at all into Shadow to get those two items.
No, Rang was Compass Chest, so not that fun.
Yeah.
Darunia would suck if that's... I mean, there are other checks available. There is Darunia, there are things like Big Pose.
Yeah, in the end, this could just be anywhere.
Wasteland thing. We know that
Yeah, we
the
got
bow
our-
was foolish, so that's a time save.
Yep, absolutely.
Maybe where gold scale is, lap dive might be a thing.
Yep. That could be something, if that does turn out to be in logic somewhere.
Somehow, after all this, Shadow Child 2 still not in logic. Nope. And it doesn't matter because it's hinted.
Yep, we did get a hint for that, thankfully. Oh, alright.
Big chest?
Ganon's castle's not quite dead yet.
I'm saying no in response to our foolishness. Wonder what specifically for. Yes. Seeking a lap dive.
Ugh.
Thanks.
Star, you've willed it into existence again.
Yeah, Gabe's got a bit of a joke on that one. I'm gonna sit for ours here and go somewhere else. Let's see what song Cola plays.
Yep,
Yeah,
GTG's
looks
the
like
play.
reverse. GTG, and then I wouldn't be completely surprised if Cola goes down lake, river, in valley, to lake, grab the lap dive, grab the water boss key, and water is not an appealing play, because there's only 2 items left in there, decent chance at least one of them is long shot locked. It's not your favorite thing of all time.
Yeah.
You do at some point need to get the boss key out of there.
Yeah, for for those who don't know, water is one of the worst dungeons when it comes to actually getting items. With the number of keys that there are in there and how many non-key chests there are, there's actually only 4 items, the non-key items that you could actually get there. And we had a hint.
Settings, yeah.
Yep, and we already had a hint that said that 2 of the checks were just dead non-key items. So. only 2 more items could be there. So, yeah, it is so bad that it's easier to track how many items are left than how many keys are left than as you would do in most other dungeons.
Yeah. There is the usual in me settings caveat because Master Quest Water Temple in all sanity is stupid.
Yeah, we also in the last League season played with key rings, so you just got all of your keys in one chest, which suddenly, with how many keys there are in water, actually made it a decent play for items all of a sudden.
But yeah, Water Temple is literally the most highest check location dungeon of all of the dungeons in All Sanity's Master Quest All Sanity.
Yep.
It is not even close, because apparently there are a million crates in Master Quest Water Temple.
Yep.
85 of them, apparently, according to a chart in the OTR main Discord.
Ooh.
85 large and small crates in there, combined with another 26 pots and the regular checks, including skulls, is 123 checks, up to 123 checks in Master Quest Water.
Yeah, Master Quest is a really weird ROM hack.
Yeah, it's quite something. Master Quest Jabu is a trip.
Yeah, Jabu apparently really likes beef.
Yeah. And then Master Quest Spirit is notorious for some really spaghetti logic for keys. If you think regular Spirit key logic is bad,
oh yeah,
Master Quest Spirit Temple key logic is 10 times worse. To the point where it's you actually, if it is Master Quest Water Temple or Spirit Temple, sorry, and you have vanilla small keys on, you must start with 3 small keys because it breaks key logic otherwise.
Yeah, now we've probably forgotten about this a while ago, but Fortress is foolish, so we won't be seeing. We won't. I guess we don't even have Eponas, which would prevent us from doing it anyway. But we don't need to check horseback archery here because of that foolish hint. Which is quite nice.
Case Sword chest earlier. It's junk.
Ah.
But yeah, Master Quest Spirit Temple also has what's known as the Symphony Room, where it's basically Frogs 2, second edition, where you need every song except for Saria's song for some reason. It's the Boulder's Room in the Vanilla Spirit Temple with the alcoves, except for you need to play a song in each alcove instead. And that gives you access to a skull and a chest, I believe.
Yeah, Master Quest is weird.
Yeah.
It's a nice variation to have, though. It's Ocarina of Time, as you said earlier, is one of the oldest the oldest Zelda randomizer, I believe.
No, Z1R and Z2R both predate it. I think the LTPR does as well, but really? I do believe it is. I think it is the oldest 3D Zelda rando.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's definitely one of the most.
Started development in like late 2018 or something like that, so it has been around the better part of a decade. Z1R celebrated its 10th anniversary this year, so.
Gotcha. Yeah,
and
it's definitely.
Z2R had their first tournament in 2016, so it's definitely been around at least that long. I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah. It's definitely been around long enough to be surely one of the most feature-rich randomizers.
Oh, absolutely. In part because the 3D nature of this game offers a lot of options. Well, Z1R and Z2R have their own quirks because they're just very different games from the rest of the series in base design. And by extension, same for their randomizers.
Especially Z2.
Z2R is great fun, but it's also very different. I played active too.
Yeah.
And then LTDPR is more OTR-like in general idea. You know, collect these items, go beat these dungeons. But 2D versus 3D does make something of a difference. Go on Boron Pot, BGS, and Hot Rodder. Not too interesting. Thanks, game.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to see 2/3 of Child Goron City because our runners orphaned the Saria's check, so hopefully that won't become an issue later.
Yeah. I have not been counting keys in GTG. Oops.
Nope, me either.
No hints for here, so we'll just be finding items as we go. We can clear everything out here in this one trip for Gola, so it's just a matter of time.
I think there was one in the
question
lobby.
From chat, can you use the PC port Ship of Harkinian to play Vanilla Master Quest? I'll be honest, I have no idea. I don't play the PC port. You are better off asking that question in the PC port Discord, which you can find from the PC port website. I don't have a link handy right now.
It would surprise me if there wasn't MQ on the PC port, though.
Probably, but don't want to give any definitive answers for something I know nothing about.
That is fair.
Because yes, there are randomizers for the PC port and the 3DS versions of OOT. They are not this project. They are certainly shared features because obviously it's the same base game, but they are different projects with different developers and different, design approaches.
Alright, we found some more bait. We got all the magic arrows.
Hey, thanks, game. Just here, just a key. Player's gonna find... whatever this was, I think Chat said it might be a bomb bag earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, the resolutions of these streams does not allow me to see what was in the Tektite Grotto yet again.
Oh, SG predominantly restreams NES and SNES era games. OOT is one of the newest games that's featured here.
Yeah, we're on 5 keys right now, I believe.
There's another...
Looks like, yeah. I think, yeah, that's our 6th key. Nothing on the right side.
Leave toilet to last, although if it's an item, I think Kola has to grab it here, because you don't want to come back.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to orphan this place at this point.
Did Kola check waistline on the way over here?
Yes, it was junk.
I figured he did, but I
don't
distinctly remember seeing it.
Yep.
Pirate's gonna find their mirror shield, they're not mirror shield, they're right in a minute and go, oh, okay. I guess I'm doing Jabu.
Yep.
But it is feeling like it's... GTG is looking extremely empty right now, so it's feeling like Shadow, or some random overroll check we left behind somewhere.
Or one of the 2 water checks.
Or that.
Yep.
I also suspect we need to go back to Shadow Temple.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the most likely possibility here. And I think that rules out GTG. Great.
Other than maybe the toilet.
Yeah, I couldn't see for, what the key count was, so...
Me neither. But Kola is leaving outright, so we're not seeing it.
Yeah, it seems likely that it would be a key there, given we really had a fairly low key count before the maze, and I think that they would have had to peak a lot of keys for it to be possible that toilet's not a key. But yeah, Shadow definitely... Going back to Shadow definitely seems like the likely play here. But I think given where you're at right now, I think you definitely go to water, go until you find boss key, set for roars, so that you can come back later, especially because we're not getting Serenade this seed. And warp back as soon as you get that long shot.
And here's Boomerang for Pyro.
Yep.
Well, unfortunately didn't quite make the jump to the lab, so going around.
Yeah, have we seen Adult Lake? Or no, oh, that was hinted, that's right.
Yeah, it was hinted,
just the lab dive.
And no one's detouring all the way out here for lab dive without a logical gold scale.
Nope.
You can't do this with Iron Boots, but it's not expected in Logic. And you're not doing out a Logic lab dive when there's nothing else to do in the area, basically.
Yeah.
Until you can route something else with it. And just
Yeah.
a heart piece. I am also keeping an eye on the race time rooms as the admin in charge of this qualifier. But I will not spoil anything one way or another.
Yep.
Although this definitely feels like a seed where you can metagame a bit out the fact that whether or not there's been any finishes.
Yes, especially with how long we've been on this long shot hunt. Definitely feels like, yeah, when you're you know, sitting in Cola's shoes, especially, just kind of like, well, I've been looking for a long shot for a while, but so has everybody else at the very least.
I will announce finishes whenever they come in, and we have not had a finish yet at the hour 53 mark, so yeah,
Nope.
long shots trolling people. Runners are allowed to keep an eye on the race time room, obviously you have to finish in
Oh,
it.
well.
Bosky.
There's Bosky. So,
Yeah,
Right.
runners are allowed to keep an eye on the race room. Obviously, they cannot. They, however, cannot watch their opponents or the race stream. That's a very good way to get banned.
yes.
Please do not do that.
Cola just finally being like, alright, screw it, I'm doing the switch.
Yeah, it's something about OT's got some interest. OT was one of the early 3D games, and they did a good job given considering the era. But also, there's some really weird coding quirks.
Yes. Definitely for being it definitely plays like an early 3D game. Alright, interesting. Cola's gonna still do some more water, even after finding the boss key. A really common strategy, I feel like, with how, you know, not dense in checks water is you just kind of, if it's progression but you can't beat it yet, you just kind of go until you find boss key, because you were going to do that anyway if you had long shot, and as soon as you find it, often you'll just be like, I'm out. Oh no, that's what's going to happen. Okay. So.
He just found his third item in the cracked wall. It was a small brown chest in the wall, so he is not going to go and
look for the fourth.
There's a real chance it's on Morpha, honestly. The fourth key very well might be on Morpha because boss key is so early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no key lock. No keys are locking you from going there. And we got a key. What a surprise!
On the boss key chest, and boss key chest is longshot locked, which, you know, why bother? Chance Morphos is too, possible Morphos is small key too, but anyhow.
Yep.
Due to the particularities of Water Temple key logic, which is mostly either you need all the keys, or you just need to physically get there. It's all or nothing, essentially, is the short TLDR on water key logic. Water boss key must have either the extra small key or the last item.
Hey, another key!
Who'd thunk?
No, Cole's gonna keep pushing, it looks like, for that fourth check.
Guess he also just doesn't want to come back here, not in an unreasonable position either, given no serenade.
Yep, that's fair.
So map torches and bow target are free keys so far. But this is definitely a risk to take as we head for Dragon Chest, because there's a very real chance the last item is longshot locked, and if that's the case, well, it's not longshot!
Yep.
But I can also understand the caution of not wanting too hard of it orphan this, if it is here.
For sure.
Because when your options are here or let's go spend 10 minutes in the rest of Shadow Temple,
Right.
it is certainly understandable to just decide to, fine, I'm gonna just finish it. Finishes up Baronade here. Or not Baronade, Jabu here. Not quite getting the neat boomerang throw. Dragon's a key. So we've got Central Pillar, Morpha, and Boss Key chest left. And,
But boss key is not worth checking already because that's logically long shot locked. So
it cannot have long shot, and you only care about long shot, so
yep.
I think we're going to see Central Pillar and then get out of here. Yeah, there are 2 keys remaining between these, and 1 item remaining between these 3 checks.
Alrighty, what do we have in Pillar? Do we get our 4th item? Oh, we're not going to get the peak. Okay. We're just going to do it.
Yeah, you can't peek this chest like you can peek several other peek several other things through walls in the game because OOT collision is interesting.
Interesting is a good word for it.
A lot of things are there's no reasonably coherent explanation, or at least not without getting into the weeds of code. And Longshot's not here.
Nope. More keys.
Yeah, it's a lot of things where it's like, without getting into the weeds of code, the explanation of a lot of stuff in OT is just, it's OT. It's OT, and don't think too hard about it otherwise.
Yeah.
Again, early 3D game, it's a bit cobbled together.
Yeah, developers didn't understand the capabilities of the players and their desires to clip through everything.
Yeah. Alright, and we're back to Shadow. Happy 2 hours, everyone.
Happy 2 hours.
This scene did not sub 2 for anyone. I'm not terribly surprised given things, although it could have if the long shot had been anywhere nice.
Yeah.
That said, the long shot is not anywhere nice today.
Yeah, for our runners, Darunia or the final check of ice would really not be fun. If that's where the long shot was.
That will be a hard last location for both.
Yeah.
No, I think they both failed because knowing that Lost Woods is dead. Sorry, suddenly unlocks 1 check, and that, you know, the entirety of Shadow Temple just opened up.
Exactly. And that's a solid 14 checks, I think?
Something like that, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Understandable play to bail, although certainly was interesting. Not completely crazy either, but
No.
I'm really hoping for both their sakes it doesn't bite them like that.
Yeah, that's going to make for a very interesting restream if that's the case.
Is who gets the thing they skipped first?
Yeah.
Because we have seen that before. I've seen that before. Where that's just forget a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like
actually before the restream started, but it is unusual. Big chest.
I feel like if it were at the end of Ice. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's not. Never mind. Forget that. What if?
Is that seriously like 3 big chests practically in a row in Shadow?
Yeah, that's wild.
Aside from keys.
Man, this seed was just so interesting. You were baited into the non-required spirit, but turns out just a few spheres later, nope, it was the non-required shadow you were looking for.
Yep. It's like, get an item! Do I bail? Yes, is what both our runners did. The answer both times was no, keep going. There's another thing in the next chest.
So, Rush Ice wins yet again.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Team Rush Ice is thrilled with this seed.
It is admittedly so hard to not end up in Spirit Temple this seed.
Yeah.
If you... Because if Kola had managed to somehow skip Spirit, this would have been a sub too, but
Yep. But yeah, with Requiem Path, I don't think you can avoid it. Especially when you didn't know, like, lock shot or hook shot placements at the time.
Letter was path to Baronade Emo. If Letter had been path to Morpho, we would have been here a long time ago. Well, not here in Water, but we would have been in Shadow a long time ago if Letter was path to Morpho.
Yeah.
They wish Letter was path to Morpho instead of Baronade. But on the other hand, the two Morpho paths we did get were both very good.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm not sure, because otherwise Domain and Fountain might not have been especially high priority items. Hey Mario in chat, yes, Kola did Spirit. Didn't beat Twinrova, but did do just about everything else in it. And hi Kola as well. As is very obvious at this point, we are on a 15-minute delay. Kola's done. Has been done for almost 15 minutes. And Siler's too. Mario's also done.
Time travelers in the chat.
But GG's, guys. As you can see, Pyra has yet to do his third trip into Shadow Temple.
Yep, the classic triple dip Shadow.
And it's basically 3 checks in a row too. Aside from I think it was a small key on Dead Hand.
Yep.
It's like, alright, got an item progression, I'm leaving. Nope,
Yeah,
come back, there's an item in the next chest, times 3.
Yeah. Early Silvers was in the way of the third dip, but yeah, pretty quickly after that. Oh, we love the chew strats.
Well, he's got tons and tons of chews to spare. I
Yeah,
guess,
exactly. And hopefully for Pyra's sake that they're on their way to Shadow soon.
I mean, it's that or GTG, and I really hope it's Shadow first.
Oh, true.
Because again, because Longshot was thoroughly unhinted. It could have been anywhere, and...
Yeah, that's actually
GTG
probably
made
the...
sense.
Yeah, that's the other way this could be a sub 2 seed, is just in, going to Shadow instead of GTG.
Yeah, true.
But there's the GTG play for Pyra.
Even with the, yeah, because GTG is the more check-dense location, especially because you've already done a few checks in Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be a chain into Water Temple, same as Kola. Kind of makes sense, just...
Alright, in the one cycle. Yeah, definitely just a bait scene. Lots of lots of bait chests everywhere. Spirit was entirely bait. Ganon's once again in the quals has been bait. Although I guess I don't know if it's been bait yet, but I don't think Ganon's has been a factor in any of the quals so far.
Chat mentioned something like that earlier too, yeah. I don't remember any of the ones I was involved with having 8 trials. It can, certainly, in the settings. The randomizers just decided to have a bit of an interesting mood.
Yeah. And that's kind of the whole point of the split bridge and key conditions is that it does, or at least it should open up Ganon's more.
And as well, for those who are wondering, and for those who have qualified for top 32, you should hopefully be able to sign yourselves up on Michael's house. There's a link in chat. It may or may not be a bug or something. Funnel, who runs Mido's house, lives in Germany, so it's currently 4 in the morning. If there is an issue, I will post it in an internal channel, but it will have to get fixed when they go. Okay, looks like there was some some weirdness with Mido's house earlier, although that seems to be significantly less weird than in the last level, so that's good. And that is GG's to Cola, with first place, an official time of 2:08:44.
Right. And of course we already have Cola here in the chat, so send your love and GG's to Cola, the time traveler himself.
Yep. He'll be joining us for an interview once the bot gets around to sending him an invite. Assuming the bot works. If the bot is broken, just let me know, Cola, and I'll send you an invite manually. And here's Cola. GG.
Yo.
GG.
That sure was a seed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure was.
Yeah, definitely.
There was some really interesting logic in that one with the Requiem path.
Yeah, Requiem Path was for Bolero and ZL and
exactly.
And the whole seed.
Yeah. It just meant that all the hook shots and ways to travel across like the crater had to be locked by ZL, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It also meant that everyone was going to be led to bait Spirit with the early strengths and Mirror Shield.
Yeah, obviously, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody is avoiding Spirit entirely here.
No.
And then it's very hard to not to do Ganon's Castle and GTG because it's just better than going back to Shadow. The only way that I could see that you can just do it is if you just keep going in Shadow straight away. If you get the boomerang,
that's what I was commenting on. His game was vaguely funny there. It's just keep going in Shadow. It's the next chest. Again. And again. And some more.
It is pretty obvious though. Nobody did that in this race. Otherwise I would have gotten beaten by 20 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this could be a sub 2 seed early on.
Yeah. If this were in 12, then maybe we have somebody that does, skip one of GTG or Ganon's or something. And
this
a really
was
crazy
the smaller
time.
one being the last qual in an evening on a weekday, so if this had been a 40-person qual, I figure someone probably would have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just because this is a later qual and many people are not playing them anymore due to already being safe in qualifiers.
Yeah,
I guess this is how it goes.
Yeah, Star and I were talking before we even went live to figure out, does this race even have implications for top 32? And I think
answer is basically not really.
Yeah, one runner I think it maybe could make a difference, and that's about it.
Yeah, I guess most people that could still have qualified just didn't end up joining the race, so it is how it is.
Yeah, definitely hard with the
So,
last
yeah,
qual being a weekday.
Yeah, there was like 3 people who had like, 2 decent non-zero scores and were 1 more good non-zero score from being top 32, but I know for a fact that 2 of them would not have been available to play in brackets anyway, and the 3rd didn't join, so
Yeah.
But that's how qualifiers go sometimes. It was an interesting one to watch though, for sure, with the hints. We never saw a 5th path hint, no clue where it is. It doesn't really matter. And to be for Volv, probably for the hammer. Not very interesting.
Yeah, I assume so, because, like, I didn't have a Evolve path, so I just didn't care.
Yeah, asking where Longshot is the very next chest of Shadow Temple. That was kind of funny. It was just like, nope, it's the next thing in Shadow. Just stick around. One more.
Keep going.
Twice, for both the ring and for Longshot.
So Cola, with this being like your 20th qual this season, what was your kind of approach playing this qual? I know there's kind of like the conservative method of playing quals, just because you're not racing one person but a ton of people. Were you trying to play this like a qual, or more like how you might play in a head-to-head match?
Oh, I don't know. I was having some fun with routing. I did some experimental stuff, and some of them with like going child instantly. I figured it bad, so I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah, I was wondering about some of that, which I figured it's like, hey, qual doesn't matter, play around a bit with different routes.
I mean, it could have mattered that, like, I lost like 10 to 15 minutes every seed because I played on the PAL version anyway, so it is how it is.
Oh, that one is just, well, that's bad.
Yeah.
Reminder to everyone, double check your emulator settings.
It's not even emulator, it's the Wii itself.
Or in this case, the Wii, but yeah.
Look, if you play for like that for an entire year, it's on yourself. You got nobody else to blame.
Yeah, I'm sorry about laughing, but yeah, that's but yeah, Kapira's just checked lab dive and heading into water now. It's so easy to get baited. Pyra also did some additional child checks. Did get that bomb back off chickens because he ran low on shoes, and cleared child Goron City except for Darunia. Both of you skipped Sorry, a song in Nice Cavern.
Yeah, it's a bit slow to go to, and the main reason to go there was the fountain path anyways. I didn't really want to go to ice that badly.
Yeah, we were talking about how it would have been nice to get a path for Longshot, but honestly, as it were, your Morpha paths weren't bad either.
Yeah, I guess. It kind of led you to Shadow in a way,
it did
because
at least chuck you the Shadow kit while you were there in Adult Fountain.
Exactly right, you're getting Dins and other boots in Ice Cavern, so it's not bad.
Did a bit of a double take when I saw them right next to each other. It's like, really, Gabe? Okay, fine. I guess we're going there.
Yeah, I guess I should have taken the hint to go to Shadow then.
Oh my goodness. Although even then, it's hard to not triple dip the place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, if you keep going, it's like, do you just commit to clearing the entire place if you don't find your Gobo to the first 3 chests?
Yeah,
Because what it actually is your Gobo is in the first 3 items.
I don't see a world where you should stay, to be honest, because, like, the first time it's Cookie Sword, that's 7 checks in Deku, that's so easy to do. And then the second time you open up Ganon's Castle and you have Strength 3 after Spirit dipping, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's no way you're not taking that chance.
Yeah, it made perfect sense. If it had been the reverse, running into K-Sword, maybe you stick around for K-Sword, but that's still a double dip for Longshot.
And it also opens up GTG logically because you get Epona's song on the OT song, so...
Oh yeah, for sure. No, it made sense. It just turned out games got jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it turns out Rush Ice was the correct play all along.
Basically.
Okay, and yeah, Pyro's chlorine water now, and then is gonna go to Shadow for basically the fact that there's nothing left in the game after this.
Yep. Yeah, making the same play of trying to look for one of two non-key checks left before moving on.
Yeah, water was not an appealing play in this seed, given that you knew that 2 of the 4 items were dead.
Yeah, but at least you knew... Well, you didn't know that you would find another item because it was a Morpha, right? But that was the only case where it's actually there, because the key on the boss key chest had to be there. If you have 2 items on the keylock checks, Dark Link and the River chest, then that means the boss key has to be a key then.
No, it could have been the 3rd item, I'm pretty sure, Koa.
No, I'm pretty sure that one has to be a key.
No, the last key can be anywhere.
Okay. Oh, I'm mistaken then. I thought you needed like 5 keys, so
well, you
to
do
reach
need
it.
5 keys, but it doesn't. But that can be 6 key item or boss key.
Oh right, it could have been an item. You're right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. Sorry, kind of getting mildly sidetracked between about a half dozen things right now.
Yeah.
Chat discussing the seed as well. We did have Mario's finish time was...
Yeah, about 2:13:27. So about 5 minutes behind.
That's like
Exactly,
Trinova and
250.
Ice Cavern maybe.
Mario said he cleared Twin River, which is a good couple minutes just in and of itself, so yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um...
Yeah, this is definitely, even if this were a bigger race room, I feel like, you know, the variance in times would still be quite high. Because I think, like, the par time for this, you know, is in the range of, what, 208 to 225?
Yeah, I just think
Looking at
that's...
the thing with the 15-minute delay, it's gonna be like a 218 or something around that. Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just feel like if this was a bigger race, somebody would have finished at like 145 and then
It's true.
all
Yes.
hell is breaking loose.
Yeah, that would increase the variance even harder than already done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were mentioning that because I was like, once you saw the boomerang, I was like, huh, well, this might be a sub 2, and it has the potential for such. Just, you know, small race, so no one ended up doing the things that, you know, land you in there.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly was an interesting one, though. This had been one of your qualifiers, Kala, you would be getting a ridiculous amount of points out of this.
Yeah, yeah, right, but...
Like, this is one where you'd be getting close to a 110 out of it. If not, maybe not 110 exact, but you'd be getting high, very, very high point count on here.
Oh, I played too many of them before that, so it's fine.
Yeah, Mario, on the other hand, is already in first place on the qual leaderboard. Is going to be, I think, increasing that rank. Mario having the only person, I think, this year up who has all 100 scores and up. And I'm fairly sure this one will continue that trend.
Dang.
Yeah, I assume so.
I don't have the exact qual formula math memorized, but I'm fairly sure that this is going to just drag Mario Sandwich up again.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely seems like Mario's time is better than the par time for sure.
Yeah. Because this is a small qual, it's going to be top 4 who sets par time, so...
Mhm.
whatever that comes out to. I don't happen to feel like doing the exact math at the moment. And this is off to Shadow for Pyra, who we are going to in for an interview, because it is on a 15-minute delay. Pyra has now finished, since, Longshot's not that far in.
Nope. We all know how this plays out.
Yep. And here's Pyra. GG.
Hello.
GG.
Yo, G.
GG.
So how was your experience with this seed?
I have 2 paths. Everything was locked behind ZL, and I so it's perfect. Everything went
Yeah, we did wonder how many paths you had while playing the seed. Yeah, we only found 4 on stream.
yeah. SF fountain to Goma and Zora's fountain to Morpha.
Oh yeah, I guess I guess I did, kind of forgot about it myself, but there's a Field of Baronite path for Letter at the top of DMT under Big
Oh, I do have
Pyra.
that one. I never wrote that down. I had that. So I had 3. Okay.
Yeah. And then Domain de Morpha is in, there's a hint for that in Upper River.
That's so funny too, because I was like in IGC and I was like, you haven't needed hook yet. I was like, the hook shot could literally be anywhere because you have not needed a hook shot for literally anything. So
Yeah, no, we were talking about that a bit. Flare wasn't hookshot locked. Boomerang and Kokiri Sword are both available, and even the long shot actually, as it turns out.
yeah.
Yeah, I goofed myself as a caster while like kind of assuming like, oh yeah, looking at the paths like, oh, you're clearly gonna need hook shot for bridge, and then was like kind of scanning through the dungeons like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So that definitely makes the logic a little interesting.
By the way,
Yeah.
that was the smartest thing I did all game, picking up those arrows because I was out. And I went into the Ganon fight and realized I picked up that arrow and I had 5, and I was like, oh, that would have been
Oh yeah, nice.
I think there were arrows on Morpha as well if you needed them.
Oh yeah, true. I just wouldn't have recognized it. I wouldn't have known until I like re-equipped the bow.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, there's something that's easy to forget.
Also, you don't see it on Restream, but I opened a notepad and wrote "fuck Shadow Temple" when I pulled the long shot.
That shadow was quite the laugh for us. It's like, oh, okay. I don't bail. Turns out you just need to go for the next check.
Yeah.
Times 2.
It's like, I don't know, it feels correct to always bounce out, like, when you get stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely is correct. Like, on average, you should leave.
Oh no, it made perfect sense.
Yeah.
It just turned out that the game wanted you to stick around for one more check.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually thought my early game went really, really well, and then it all fell apart in the mid game. But
Yeah, not missing the domain to Morpha path, I think definitely was kind of delayed your first hook shot.
yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know if I would have even chased a second Morpha hint all that much, but I would have assumed it was like long shot and irons, which I guess like, I don't know, long shot prevents you from going to GTG for a really long time in the seed, like the idea that like horse and long shot are both buried.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. My early route grabbing like I think it was 45 bomb shoes or something.
Yeah, it was silly.
Like,
Oh yeah.
worked out really well. Like I got the strength from DMT Storm super early, beat DC in my adult one. Yeah, I started to play pretty aggressive, and it just kind of didn't pay off. But
Yeah.
so the hookless spirit climb felt really bad when all you get was nothing. And then, going back to the one big chest and strength 3 that's also unrequired was.
Oh, yeah, I get so tilted when I try to jump from the hand to the big chest twice and failed.
Thanks for teaching me that jump's a thing.
You can wait. That's
Yeah, you can make that, but if you fall down, you can go back up with Farah's Wind, or you can't go back up, basically.
Oh Jesus!
You
I
can
never
try
really
it once, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm gonna have to go look up that trick and practice it.
Yeah,
Really?
it's very finicky.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, all in all, I was pretty close to forfeiting, and I think even if this improved my time, it was like a fraction of a point or something like that. So this was my 4th race, so
You got 87.1 points out of this.
yeah, so
Ira.
that's like half a point improvement. Let's go.
Let me go look
Oh,
up
yeah.
where your thing
Totally,
went
Let's
to.
go.
Totally worth this fucking nightmare.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
because your previous, it lets you drop your worst score, which is an 85.84, and
Yeah.
so let me go dig the thing out. 87.1 minus 85.84 divide by 3. Yeah, saved you, increase your score by 0.4 points.
I
Nice.
literally didn't even go up a ranking. I'm still exactly where I was.
Fantastic.
That's incredible.
Qual 12 really coming in clutch for everyone, this
I
time.
was like, I think last time I was like 0.01 above Manu, and now I'm 0.4 above Manu. So let's go.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy though that like you were, the first non-par time score, and it was 87.
Yeah, I mean the part times this like the first 5 finishers were all like consecutively 5 minutes away from each other. So like the part time was kind of slower than you would think, but
The part time was at 216 and change. I went and calculated the thing.
oh jeez, that's actually I would have put it closer to like 220, but maybe yeah. No, I guess that makes sense. Cole
It's top 4 because it's
so
under
much faster.
qual under 20 people. A formula that doesn't come up much nowadays, although it did matter in the old days of SGL when we could barely find 10 people for a qual sometimes. We need to rework the qual formula. That's on our to-do list for next year.
Yeah, the multiplicative nature of it definitely makes it a little wonky. Because I feel like it's like more often than not, it's like if you're slower than other people, it's because you did things that other people didn't, and like that's not like like a multiplicative addition, that's additive. So like if the seed is longer, then you don't get punished for those mistakes as much because the par is proportionally higher. So it's like if you want to score high, just do a bunch of AD seeds.
Yeah.
Not that you get to choose, but like it's like AD ends up being like easier to score high on just because you're not getting punished as much if everyone has to take more time to do the seed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Everything I did this seed felt reasonable. The hookless spirit may have been not the best play when I did it, but like Requiem to Bolero path felt weird at the time, even though it gave you ZL.
Yeah.
I think most people would have done Hookless Spirit. I did it as well, so it is what it is.
I went like all the way up. I climbed the shit room, which was like...
Oh yeah, I didn't do that one. I refused.
I struggled with it, but I did it.
And you were not rewarded.
I was not rewarded. But
well. And GG's to the time traveler.
yeah.
GG.
Yeah, GG.
Alrighty, any final thoughts about this interesting seed?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I mean,
Yeah.
everything getting buried behind ZL was kind of crazy. Back to back, technically Bolero Woths was awesome. That's super fun.
Yeah, this was one
It
of
wasn't-
because my note on the path command is Requiem is path to Blair to ZL to everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a hinted Bolero path, but it was on the Woth list if you look it up. So that's always fun. But yeah,
It was also like the only thing that was past Requiem that was worth anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now GG's, it'll be interesting to see how the groups shake out. This top 32 is like crazy stacked. I was looking at.
Oh yeah,
the
SGL's
whole
had
list,
some
like-
incredibly stacked. Well, the first couple of years of SGL were a bit different, but the recent years we've had some incredibly stacked top 32s.
So yeah, whatever the draw system is going to be a nightmare.
Oh yeah, it's going to be Challenge Cup style. I should actually mention that. So, based on qualifier placement, you'll be sorted into 4 quartiles, 1st through 8th, 9th through 16, 17 through 24, and 25 through 32. And then 1 from each quartile will be stuck together in a group. That will be randomly drawn tomorrow night.
Oh, cool.
So you guys can, I think, hopefully, please let me know if something is broken, because I can't actually check myself as someone who is not, in fact, eligible to enter this tournament. Let me know if something is broken, but sign-ups should be through Mito's house.
Sweet.
There should be an option on there on the Enter tab for you guys to enter once you've linked, things to your Mito's house account.
Yeah, it works fine for me, so...
Fantastic! So, yeah, do that. Let me actually go see if I can poke around to see kind of where things are at. Yep, I see that you have signed yourself up, Kola. You are our first. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sick.
So yeah, do that. I'll post a formal announcement once everyone's officially done, because there's still a few people still going. Groups draw will be tomorrow night. That will be on my personal channel, since Speedgaming's restream system's a little stiff in terms of things like that. But it'll be on my personal channel. You'll be able to go over there to catch the group draw. It'll be me spinning a wheel, basically. And that'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern with Mara joining me on the comms for that. And then the full details of the tournament structure. I mean, you guys have both been around SGL for a few years each now, so you know how this works in general. There is a limited time frame for qualifiers. It's about 3 days per match is the Jeff guidelines, so you can find the full thing in the rules document. We gave you guys about a week and a half for groups, and then a couple of days in case any tiebreaker matches are needed, which I would not be surprised to see at least one given the stacked field. Challenge Cup always seems to end up with a couple every year. And then brackets will be after that. Group stage matches run August 14th through 24th. The tiebreakers, if needed, will be held from the 25th through the 28th, that following weekend. And then, basically, brackets will take the month of September, is the schedule. But yeah, any final comments? Otherwise, I think we're pretty much good to close out for the night.
I think I'm good. Just thanks everyone for putting their restream together.
Yep, absolutely here. So give both of our runners a follow once again, Kola and Pyra. Thank you to Kits for joining me on the commentary, to Virgil and Lady Draco for doing the tracking, and thanks to everyone in chat for watching as well. It's been a good qualifier season. Thanks to everyone who participated, to everyone who ran in the races, to everyone who helped with the commentary and with the tracking, and to the people who helped us with the setup on the Speed Gaming side. But that's going to be it here for us tonight. Keep an eye out. It'll be over on. We'll have the group show tomorrow night on my personal channel. That'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern, midnight. That'll be 1 p.m. ETC, 1 a.m. Central European time. Jeez, they've got just based on what's available for our personal schedules, and then groups will start on Thursday. So we'll see you all then. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.